Coming up on Backyard Science, a whole new way of attacking the lolly jar.
A surefire way to hang on to your money.
And new meaning to the name Big Ears. What on earth is happening to those plants?
Find out what makes a perfect face.
And a backyard boat that goes off with a bang.
But first, there's nothing more annoying than getting caught in a rainstorm.
Unless, of course, you're a thirsty plant.
But even then, there's refreshing rain. And, well, another sort.
I mightn't be the world's greatest gardener, but how hard can it be to grow a pot plant? Mine gets stacks of water and I feed it up on fertilizer, but it looks pretty sick. In fact, I think it's just about dead. There's lots of muck in the air around here. I've heard that can sometimes cause rain to get acid in it. I'll collect a sample. And while that's filling up, I need to prepare a little test for the rainwater. Boil up some red cabbage in purified water. When it cools down, put it into jars. First up, I'll test some lemon juice. The cabbage water turns red. It's telling me the lemon juice is acidic. Here's some baking soda. Now the water's gone blue. It's alkali. That's the opposite of acid. Now for some vinegar. Well, that isn't acid, so no surprises there. It's acidic. What about washing powder? The solution's turned green. This means the washing powder is really alkaline. Now I can find out if the rainwater really is making my plants sick.
I'm gonna make a jet boat, and it's gonna be balloon powered. And I'll need a straw. She'll never notice it's gone. Here goes. A foil container. Punch a hole in one end. The straight end of a bendy straw into the neck of a balloon. Fix it on with a rubber band. Push the straw through and stick it in place with plasticine. A bit more down the back to weigh it down. See you later. Now, away she goes! Oh, a jet boat! Look at the air rushing out of the balloon! Gotta give it another go! Oh! And now for a balloon-powered salvage boat.
Boats that use jets out the back to push them along can reach pretty high speeds. These jet foil boats have two big engines, making water jets that propel the boats at more than 80 kilometers an hour. Now that's a jet boat.
Wow, that looks like fun. I'd love to take a ride in one of those.
Yeah, it looks brilliant. And Richard has a brilliant idea to find out how tall you are, without even standing up.
I bet I can tell how long your thumbs are without looking at them. Right. If you just keep your head still, I said still, your thumbs are that long. The same length as your nose. Want to see another trick? I'll just measure your forearm, the distance between your wrist and your elbow. And now your foot. Same again. Stretch your arms out. The length of your arm span from fingertip to fingertip tells me your height. See, they're the same. When it comes to bodies, it's all relative.
The sun's a fantastic source of energy. It heats up the world's oceans. So Liam and I are going to find the best way to heat up water in our homemade hot water system. We're gonna need 3 baking trays, some water, of course, a pad and pen, some thermometers, scissors and sticky tape, cling wrap, and black plastic bin liner. We're going to put the black plastic bag in one tray. That's because black absorbs heat more than any other colour. In goes the water, then cling wrap goes on top to see if it keeps heat in. Now for the second tray. No black plastic on this one, just cling wrap. The third one, just water. In go the thermometers so we can keep an eye on the temperature. Now leave them in the sun and see how they sizzle. Now, let's check the temperatures. Black plastic and cling wrap, 15 degrees. Cling wrap only, 12 degrees. The last one, still only 9 degrees. Let's leave them in the sun for a bit longer. Black with cling wrap, 32 degrees. Cling wrap only, 25 degrees. The other one, still only 15 degrees. Our solar panel has worked.
The tray without cling wrap stays cooler because the heat can escape quite easily. The one with cling wrap on top absorbs the heat and traps it inside so the water gets hotter. The tray with both cling wrap and black plastic is a clear winner because the black absorbs more of the sun's rays, making it hotter, and the cling wrap keeps it in. For a moment, I thought those two were going to be in hot water.
Very funny. Have more sympathy for Daniella's plants. They might be in acid water.
Okay, that should do me. Now I'm ready to find out if my rainwater is acid. Here goes. The indicator has turned slightly red. The rain is acidic.
Acid rain is caused by pollution. Exhaust fumes from cars and factories rise up and react with water molecules in the atmosphere. The water droplets become acidic. So when they fall back to Earth, they become harmful acid rain, which is absorbed through the plant's roots.
That's why I can't leave my plant out in the rain. It's already sick enough. I'm putting it on a recovery diet of pure bottled water only. I wonder what would have happened if I'd left it out in that rain forever. I reckon these 4 plants will help me find out. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll give 1 bottled water, this rainwater, this a mild vinegar water mix, and the last a strong vinegar water mix. Sorry, little plantlings, it's all in the name of science.
I'm gonna get a quick shot of Genevieve. She's got no idea what we're gonna do with it. Give us a smile. Why don't you get a snap of Sophie too?
Losers!
Got him! Let's go see what we can do with the photos. There we are. Now for some fun. Quite pretty, really. Hey, what about Sophie? Not too bad either. There's a way of changing all that. I'll just grab a mirror. See how different she looks? Most people's faces aren't the same both sides. If you look closely, a mirror image of just one side is different from the real face. If you don't believe me, I'll show you in another way.
Look! I can easily reverse these faces on the screen. See? That's the original, that's reversed.
I'll print them out. Draw a line exactly down the center of the original and the reversed image. And cut down the line. See what happens when you join the different sides up?
Oh, fantastic! She looks really strange.
The real Jen is in the middle. On the left, we've made a wider Jen. And on the right, she's skinny. See? She's different.
Oh, I've created a monster! And Sophie wouldn't be happy with her weird-looking half-sisters either. I much prefer the real Sophie.
mushrooms seem to grow everywhere. Here's a cool way to see how they do it. They don't have seeds. They spread spores, which hang out in the wrinkly bit underneath the cap. They're too small to seed just one, but there's a way of getting out thousands of them. Cut off the stalk near the cap and put it on a piece of paper. The spores are so tiny they'll blow away, even inside. So cover it with a glass bowl and leave a crack under one side so a little air can get in. It'll take about a day. Now, to check out the results, carefully lift off the bowl and the mushroom top. There it is. Oh, look at all the patterns of those spores. The spores are so small they look like powder. No wonder mushrooms grow everywhere. There are thousands of spores on my finger. Now to help that mushroom make more mushrooms.
The bit of the mushroom you can see is just the very top of a fungus that lives mostly underground. There are 1.5 million different kinds of mushrooms. One type produces 30 billion spores in one day. How's that for being busy?
Soon there'll be a backyard full of mushrooms. Just add water.
Funny you say that. I think that's exactly what Danielle's been doing to her plants.
I've been watering these plants for 2 weeks now. Wow, look what's happened. First, the good news. The lucky plant getting bottled water is doing fine. The plant getting rainwater looks a bit sad. I guess that's because the rain around here is acid rain. Gosh, the mild vinegar solution has really hammered this little thing. Yow! The plant water with the strong acidic vinegar solution has kicked the bucket, just like mine would have if I hadn't rescued it. But do you know the best news? My precious plant is green and healthy. The bottled water has done the trick. You're positively blooming.
The brave adventurer has entered the Cave of Doom. What do you think of my haunted cave?
Not bad at all. There's the spooky plants, the bat hanging from the roof, the brave adventurer. Yep, I can only see one thing missing. Where are the stalactites and stalagmites?
I'll see what I can come up with. I wonder if plasticine will do the trick.
Not bad. Not great though. Don't worry, I think I've got the solution.
Looks like things have gone a bit quiet. Nobody looks very inspired. I've got a cool idea. Angelique's jelly beans. A pile for me, a pile for you. Here's the target. Whoever gets the most in, wins. Let's see what you can do. Doll, try again. Oh, close. That's all yours gone. I'll let you in on a secret that's guaranteed to improve your aim no end. All you need is this. Oh, I'm cold. It's been too cold lately to take Jodie for a walk. That's why she's getting so fat. On the other hand, maybe you need some of that fat to keep you warm, old girl. Actually, I'm gonna find out. Shortening, cups. Shortening is made of animal fat. So if this stuff is what keeps my dog warm, I'll know pretty soon. In goes the thermometer, room temperature. Good. And I'll put a thermometer in one of these empty cups as well. And I'll pop you outside with no fat alongside the cup with fat in it. Yep, that should do it. They should be pretty cold by now. Oh, the temperature of the thermometer surrounded by the fat has only dropped a couple of degrees. But the cup with no fat in it has dropped to freezing. You're fat for a good reason, aren't you, girl?
Imagine living with all that freezing snow and those dripping icicles.
Dripping icicles. Hey, that reminds me. I wonder how Margot and Liam are going with their plans to make stalactites and stalagmites for their haunted cave.
I'll show you a way to grow real stalactites and stalagmites and make this the best haunted cave ever. Okay, here we go. First we need 3/4 of a cup of Epsom salts. Fill up the cup with warm tap water and start stirring. You're going to need 2 cups full of this stuff. We need to keep stirring until no more Epsom salts will dissolve. That's the second cup done. Now take some cotton, about 1 foot long, tie a weight to one end and lower this into the bottom of the cup. Do the same to the other end of the string and put it in the second cup. Both cups are now chock full of completely dissolved Epsom salts. After you've cut a hole in the roof, lower the string in, placing the cups either side of the hole. Our stalagmites and stalactites will form beneath the lowest point in the string, so position it where you want them to grow.
Daniela, didn't have much luck getting those lollies into the jar, but I've got just the thing. Get a clothes peg and stretch a rubber band around it. Push the jelly bean against the elastic and into the jaws of the clothes peg. Aim carefully. Fire! How's that? See how it works? The power of elastic shoots the jelly beans off at high speed, and the peg lets me aim with pinpoint accuracy. See? I can't miss. Your go. Oh, bad luck. Your pile's gone. Oh.
Here's a neat way to show how important your ears are. They not only allow us to hear things, but they tell us where those things are. Totally dark, Blake? Good. Now all you have to do is use your ears to find out where Sharmini is. Blake! Blake! Where is she, Blake? Na 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 na. Yep, you're headed in the right direction.
Because we have 2 ears, the sound arrives at each at slightly different times. Our brain is so amazing it picks the difference and tells us where the sound comes from.
Blake! Blake! But now watch this. I've rigged up a nifty gadget. Blake won't know whether he's coming or going.
Oh, I hope Richard's not going to be mean to poor Blake.
Ha! If you want to see mean, just wait till you see what Ben's about to do.
Angelique always wants to borrow money. Maybe there's a way of discouraging her. I've got an idea. This might do the trick. Absorbent paper, saucer, some vinegar, put some paper towel into a saucer, give it a good slurp of vinegar. Watch closely. In go some coins. This only works with copper ones. Yes! The acid in the vinegar has reacted with the copper. The coins have got a very unattractive shade of green. Sensational. And the longer I leave the coins, the greener they're going to get.
It's just like the Statue of Liberty in New York. At first, the famous statue was bright and shiny, but today it's gone all green. That's partly because of salt and partly because the copper in the statue has reacted with acid in the rain. It's a similar chemical reaction to the one that's made Ben's coins go all green.
Now all I have to do is keep a few of these with me at all times. Okay, here we go. Yep, I can spare a few coins.
This is going to save me a fortune.
Sit up, all you golfing enthusiasts, and watch this. I'm going to line up 3 balls and send the end one flying without touching it. Earth, loosen up. Watch this. Yes, I did it! Energy from this ball gets transferred from each ball and ends up in this one. Very interesting. I'm going to try something else. I wonder if energy can travel through water. Better use a lighter ball. Sponge to soften the impact. Okay, go. Yes! What if it wasn't the water that made it bounce? What if it was just the jar that made the ball bounce? I'll do it without the water this time. Not going anywhere. Water must have had something to do with it. One more time for luck. Go! That proves it.
When Sonam bangs the jar down, the water moves upwards. The upward moving energy is transferred to the ping pong ball and it too goes flying.
Now I've got no energy left for golf. So, we've seen how Blake can tell where Sharmini is without seeing her. Blake! Blake! His ears let him know. But this should fool him. I've taped 2 funnels to tubes about 1 metre or so long. My device basically means these funnels have become his new ears. They're big enough, but will that help him? Okay, loud and clear. Let's plug him in.
The sound coming in the funnel on Blake's right travels along the tube and into his right ear. Sound going into the left funnel ends up in his left ear, so Blake hears normally.
Blake, tell me where she is. Blake! Blake! Yep, you know she's there. Good. But what about if we sneakily switch these funnels around?
Now when Sharmini calls out, sound going into the funnel on the right ends up in Blake's left ear. Sound going into the left funnel goes into his right ear. Blake now hears back to front.
Blake! 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 That's totally confused Blake's ears. Blake! Blake! Oh, well, poor Blake. You certainly helped prove a point. Your brain relies on your ears for directions. Some things, though, are just better not heard.
I can't believe my ears!
You're not going to believe how those stalagmites and stalactites are looking either.
Now that is a haunted cave. Hey, look at it! It worked! A stalactite! And underneath, a stalagmite.
The water was crammed full of dissolved salt. The cotton acted like a wick sucking up the water. The salt soaked down to the lowest point on the stream, and when the water began to evaporate, crystals were left behind. Some dripped off and made the stalagmites coming up.
The brave adventurer has returned to the Cave of Doom, searching for the fabled treasure. It's a bit spooky in here now. These stalactites are really beautiful though. They must have formed over thousands and thousands of years.
A cave monster! I'm getting out of here!
Cave monster? Well, I'm out of here as well.
Me too, but that's only because we've reached the end of Backyard Science. See you next time.